Hi, my name is Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. Hi guys, it has been a little while, not a long while for you guys. For me, it's been a little while. I've been away on holiday and I'm so excited to be back and ready to get into 31 Days of Horror. But I really wanted to do a roundup this month talking about my favorite things because I don't have another chance to kind of talk to you guys like this before we jump straight into 31 Days of Horror. Yes, that will start on Monday, and I'll upload at the end of my Monday, which will be kind of like your Monday morning. So you'll get them early because I'm in Australia, so it works out quite well that way. I have had a really busy month. Movie-wise, not so much, although I definitely caught up on the plane rides. So let's just jump straight into that and let's talk about what movies I watched this month. And yes, I will be talking about The Nun. Just opening Letterboxd now. My account is Spooky Astronaut, not astronauts for some reason. But whatever. Let's get down to the first. I watched How to Talk to Girls at Parties. I watched this on the plane on my trip. It was fucking horrendous. This is an A24 film, I believe, and Ellie Fanning's in this, and it really actually put me off her. And then I was trying to, I'll get into it later, but I was trying to watch The Alienist, and then I was kind of like off Dakota Fanning just from watching Ellie Fanning in this movie. It is horrendous. It's about aliens in punk England, like in the 70s, I think it is. Anyway, don't do it. Not even once. It's awful. I then watched Game Night, which again, a plain movie, and you'll see I watch a lot of really kind of comedy-ish movies this month. I didn't mind it. It wasn't great. I then watched, this is gonna be a mouthful, Serena Burgess Is a Loser. Okay. We need to talk about this because a lot of people are really hating on this movie, and I kind of get it, but I didn't even get that out of the film until I read about it afterwards. I went to Instagram or like Twitter to talk about how much I really liked this film after seeing it, and then I saw a whole lot of people were really angry at it because if you don't know the story, this is a Netflix original movie, and she pretty much catfishes a guy not by accident, but anyway, she gets tangled into it. It's not her intention from the start. But my issue with everyone getting really mad about that, which I get why they're mad, is it's a movie. Like, there has to be conflict. And when has a movie that has the protagonist that isn't problematic ever been good? Like, Fight Club, you know? I think we need to learn lessons from movies, and kind of tiptoeing around the subject and having a perfect protagonist is never gonna do that. Sometimes it's fine, but in this case, it's just a teen drama and it's trying to teach kids lessons that they should just be themselves. And yeah, so that was my thing with this film. I actually really liked this film because it had a lot of stuff about, you know, body shaming and like self-deprecating kind of stuff, and can relate. And it was just nice to see someone who looked more like me on a Netflix original. But that's how I felt about the movie. I actually really liked it. I was crying, laughing so hard. But a lot of people didn't. I then watched Lost in Translation, which is, of course, a perfect movie to watch when you're in Copenhagen and don't speak any Danish. Love this film, second time watching it. I then watched The Client, which was a Susan Sarandon film about a kid who sees a crime and she represents him as the lawyer. I really hadn't even heard of this film beforehand until watching this, and then the next day I saw the soundtrack in a vinyl store. So bizarre. I don't know if I'd recommend this one to you guys in particular. I then finally watched The Shallows, guys, and I was actually pretty impressed with it. I know that a lot of people said it was pretty good for what it was, and I didn't really listen to you guys, and I should have, because it's gotten an overall rating of 3, I can see here from a lot of people, and I do agree with that. It was done in a modern way, and it incorporated like lots of text on screen and things like that, which I thought was clever. I didn't mind it. It kept me glued. That's what you want from a shark movie, right? I then rewatched The Conjuring just because I was dying with seeing all of your reviews or just like tweets and Instagram posts about The Nun, and I thought I need to, you know, get up to scratch with the Conjuring series. I've watched it all before, but I hadn't watched it in years. And rewatching the first Conjuring, I actually really like it. I thought it was really clever. And yeah, I've liked it a lot more than I remember liking it. So that was fun. And then I watched The Florida Project, which is definitely a standout for me this month. It is a very like experimental film, directed by Sean Baker, and it stars Willem Dafoe. It is about the project's situation outside of like Disney, is it Disneyland or Disney World? I always get confused. The one in Florida. And it's just such a different perspective on life, and it's about a woman and her kid and what she kind of has to do to survive, but she's like a really tough, I don't know how to explain it. She's just very rough around the edges, and it's really interesting. I just love looking at different perspectives on life, and this one gave me exactly what I wanted, and I just think it was really interesting. And if you're into kind of experimental films, Sean Baker did Tangerine, I believe, which was one of my favorite films, I think last year or the year before, whenever it came out. So if you like films like that, you'll love this film. I recommend seeing it anyway. I really was, yeah, it's just like really different. Then I watched Life of the Party. I watched this because I wanted something easy to fall asleep to. I was on the plane again, and it wasn't great. And I know that we all know it wasn't gonna be great, but sometimes I like the cheesiness, but the cheesiness, the storyline was just fucking bizarre, really, to be honest. So the cheesiness couldn't shine. I then watched another experimental film, Boyhood. If you guys don't know about Boyhood, it's received a lot of critical acclaim. It is a movie that is shot over 12 years, and it is shot with the same cast. So, you know, they took a boy from a really young age and they made him the main character, and then every couple of years, or every year, they kind of shoot a little scene with him. And it was very long. It's 164 minutes. But it was interesting. I liked it. I didn't think it was jaw-dropping. It didn't really relate to me. The film's called Boyhood, come on. But it's more about, you know, the things that shape him in his life, and yeah, how a boy is made. That sounds so weird. How kind of the events in his life structure who he becomes. That's much better. Would recommend it though, totally recommend it. It's awesome. Again, if you like experimental film and if you like seeing something different, this one kind of broke the mold. I then watched Overboard because I'm an Anna Faris fan, but I am not a fan of this film. It was awful. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I then watched The Boy Downstairs, which is a strange movie that is about a person who moves back to New York, and she discovers that her ex is living in the same apartment building as her, and then it's just kind of like going back to their relationship, like past and present kind of thing. It's like some nice not coming of age, some nice like young adult lessons in there, but it's kind of hard to swallow at the same time. But it was okay. I then rewatched Unsane, which is by far my favorite film this year. If you haven't seen Unsane, you need to see Unsane. And it was just great. She is amazing. She is so good. She's also the same person in the new Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie, The Girl in the Spiderweb, I believe it's called. If you guys don't know, this is kind of like a thriller, but I'm gonna say it's a horror, directed by Steven Soderbergh, and it is all filmed on an iPhone. And it is about a woman who, I don't want to give away too much, it's one of those films you just need to watch, but she goes to a psychiatric hospital and then she starts seeing things. It sounds really like cliche, but it's not, trust me, it's not. I then watched My Teacher, My Obsession, and I watched this when I was home on jet lag, the jet lag hours, and this is an awful, awful Netflix movie, horrendous, don't even bother. You know me, I love my stalker films, but this film was just, it was unwatchable almost, pretty much. I then watched The Conjuring 2, which I didn't really love the first time I saw it. This time I saw it, I kind of felt the same way. There was a lot of, yeah, it was a bit much in the wrong kind of aspects, for me anyway. I know a lot of people really love it, but I'm such a fan of the first one compared to the second one. But then I saw The Nun. The Nun isn't bad per se. I know a lot of people have been wondering what my opinion is. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, so that's like a 5 out of 10. And I thought that visually it was beautiful, but the storyline was very much lacking. And like I saw a lot of people say before I saw it, I tried to stay away from everyone's reviews before I saw it, but I did see a few people say that it wasn't the film we wanted it to be, and I think that that's kind of the perfect way of putting it. I think that it looked amazing, the setting was amazing, I loved the scene with the nun in the water, but I just felt like there was no great intense background that you were hoping to learn. I know it's based on actual like demon mythology, but I just really wanted to learn more about the nun. Like I really just wanted to learn more. So that was definitely a sad case for me. And I felt like, as people have said as well, there was a little bit of random comedy in there and you weren't really sure if you're meant to be laughing while like horrific stuff is happening. It was bizarre, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrendous, so that's why I gave it, I'm still on the fence with it. I don't think it was a horrendous movie. Not as bad as some people are saying it is, but you know, I watched Slender Man recently, so anything's good. I then watched Gojim. I hope I said that right, Haunted Asylum. This film was recommended to me by a couple of you guys, but also my friend Linus, who I'll talk about soon. But it is a Korean horror movie about, it's kind of like found footage, about an online streaming horror investigation where they go to this haunted asylum and all these people have like, you know, GoPros strapped to them and Steadicams and CCTV and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, shit starts going down. It's exactly what you expected. And I know a lot of people really love this movie, but for me, I think it was really overdone with the, not the CGI, but just, I don't know, I just didn't get the tension in it. The tension didn't work for me. It just didn't get me to the point where I was actually scared, and I know it's completely horrific for some people, but for me, it just, I never really understood the build-up of the film. But I do recommend you guys watching it because I've heard so many of you guys say that you loved it. So I really recommend you checking it out. Maybe I missed something. Maybe my lounge room wasn't dark enough when I watched it or something like that, but who knows. I then watched Searching though, and I fucking loved it. And I knew I would because I'd heard before it came out some really good reviews. I saw some really good reviews, and then I heard a couple of you guys really liking it. So that movie is definitely worth a watch. Another kind of found footage, but it's filmed all through a screen. So it's kind of more like Unfriended, like, you know, with Skype or The Den. So interesting. It is about a girl that goes missing and her father trying to find her. And the coolest thing about this movie is everything that kind of is gonna happen and unfold, you can see through hidden like links and stuff, or like things on the screen, like they give you hints throughout the film, and I thought that was really clever. We figured out the ending before the ending happened, which I thought was really cool, but I'm sure a lot of people did. But it was still so worth it, and it was like a puzzle to watch. We went to the movies, Dean and I, and we sat and we were like on the edge of the seat trying to figure out what's going on here, and it's an interesting kind of film that can bring that out of an audience, so I definitely recommend it. I need to add what I watched last night. I watched Teeth, which is such a funny movie. Not as good as I remember. I'm still gonna give it a 6 actually. I watched this last night, and yes, I watched this because we're doing a Does This Offend You on Teeth. If you guys don't know what my Does This Offend You series is, it is a streaming series I do with my co-host, Nightmare Maven, Vicky. Every month or so, we take turns on hosting the episodes on each person's channel. So actually my one is up tomorrow or tonight for you guys, I guess. Here's the details here. So in the next episode we talk about puberty, and so Teeth was one of the things we watched, and the other one I just finished watching, which was Ginger Snaps. Which I think we all love Ginger Snaps. Oh my god, can I not spell ginger? Oh, it's 2 words, is it? Okay, there we go. I think we all love it. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's not that great. Like, it's not like an epic movie, but I love it. I love it. So I'm just gonna give it a 4. No, I should give it a 3.5. Yeah, I think a 3.5 is more fair. Anyway, this is what happens every day. So that's everything I watched this month. I definitely recommend checking out Searching for sure. I think you guys definitely should check out Gojim Haunted Asylum. Even if I didn't like it, I'm sure you guys will love it. Check out Boyhood and the Florida Project, especially the Florida Project. If you're into experimental films. If you haven't seen The Shallows, recommend it. And I think that's it, guys. Now let's talk about TV. For those asking, I still haven't watched the new season of American Horror Story. I haven't started it yet, and with 31 Days of Horror coming, I'll give it a shot, but I don't know, maybe I'll be able to kind of binge it at the end of October, which really they have a break in the series anyway, so they don't really show the other half until next year, I believe. So I don't think I'm kind of missing out if I binge it all in one go. I did start watching Castle Rock, but I only got through a couple of episodes. From what I could tell, it was very sinister and kind of dragging in a way, but in that special way where you're kind of wondering what the mystery is. But I did also really feel that way when I watched the Stephen King TV series, The Mist, but like that really started dragging. This one is kind of more my theme, with like the devil being locked in a prison. Sorry if I said too much. I don't even know if that's real. I've only seen 2 episodes, but I have heard it has a very abrupt or like open-ended ending. So I'm not really looking forward to that. But I will try to keep going. Again, with 31 Days of Horror, this stuff can be hard. I also tried to watch The Alienist, as I kind of mentioned before with the Dakota Fanning situation. Dean finished, I think, the first season, and I just left it behind. I downloaded it all off Netflix on my phone so I could watch it when I was away, and no, I just was not into it. It felt really, again, a dragging series. I felt like things were happening really slow, and they're set up for these people to come together and work on this case. It just seemed so obvious and took like a couple episodes for them to like distinguish that. If you guys don't know about The Alienist, it is a Netflix original TV series that is about Dakota Fanning and a couple of dudes and they are trying to work out this case of this murderer in the 19th century, and it's quite slow. But I've heard a lot of you guys really like it. Again, maybe just not my thing. I don't know, I really want some fast-paced action, I feel like, recently. But that's kind of all I've watched TV-wise. Another horror thing, merch kind of thing that I found when I was away. This is amazing. I found this in a vintage shop in Oslo. This is an original, I think it's, does it say like the 1990? I don't know. It doesn't say really what year. It just says It, the movie. It's definitely the original Warner Bros. Design. We found this. Perfect. Fucking perfect. How creepy. I love this. I love vintage tees that are horror movies. That's insane. And then you guys are gonna love this one. This is the second one we found. Yes! 2 clown ones, hey? So we just found these in a vintage shop. They were quite expensive, but you know, when you see horror stuff that are like hidden gems, you need to get them. So I just want to share that quickly with you. Next, I really want to take the time to just thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, because I've just reached 15,000 of you. That's insane to me. Like, I can't even, can you imagine 15,000? That's insane. And I really appreciate it. And I don't know if I'll do it during October or we'll figure it out in November, but I want to do like a live Q&A chatting with you guys. I think that I owe you guys that after this long. Thank you. I really don't know what else to say, but thank you so much. And I really appreciate you guys coming back every week and supporting me. It means a lot. A couple of things I really want to update you guys on. Firstly, I want to tell you guys again, I know I say this all the time, I have an Instagram and I've been taking some really like original self-portraits, and if you want to see like more kind of stuff that is very different from me, that's where you find it. And I've, you know, been taking a lot of pictures on my travels, so if you want to check that out, it's Spooky Astronauts. But I also want to thank for my, I can't believe my trip was insane, guys. I don't even know where to start with that, and I'm not really going to be able to touch on it all, to be honest. I went to Finland, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. I want to thank some of you guys who actually helped me with tours. I know from Instagram and obviously here. Thank you so much. She helped us around Helsinki. And then also I met one of my lovely Patreons, Linus, and his girlfriend Annette, and it was amazing. And they tried to show me around Stockholm. Bad tour guides. I'm kidding. So that was an amazing opportunity, and just meeting you guys. That was the first time I met you guys, and that was fucking awesome, and I was so happy. I also want to mention really quickly, when I was in Oslo, Norway, I went through an escape room that was horror themed, and it had live actors, and it was intense, and I kind of recorded as much as I could, and I talk about it in depth on my Instagram. If you go into my highlights, I have a highlight called Horror House. Just click on that and you can listen to the whole story and see some footage from it. That was pretty amazing. But again, a lot of amazing things came out of that trip, so I'm very grateful I was able to do it, and I am very excited to get back into 31 Days of Horror. And that's all I have for this month, guys. This has been a crazy month, but we're gonna get even crazier. So if you guys don't know about my 31 Days of Horror, I don't know who you are or where you've been, but during October, I'm gonna flood your inbox, your subscription box on YouTube. Every single day I post a vlog style, so me like holding the camera, talking to it, talking about a movie that I've watched, and every movie has been recommended by one of you guys. There's a fixed, locked-in schedule. This is it. If you want to watch along with me, this is your monthly mission. Try and watch like 1 or 2 at least along with me. If I can do 31 videos in a row every single day during a month while working full-time, you guys can watch a couple, can't you? Anyway, I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see all your comments and what you guys think of every single film, and I really hope that there's some gems in there. How great if there's some films in here that I get to put into my end of year best films that I watched in 2018. That would just be amazing. Did you see me think what year it was then? Anyway, I'm gonna get going, but thank you guys so much for being here, and it was awesome to talk to you guys again. I feel like I haven't talked to you in a long time, even though I've seen you around. And I'll talk to you guys very soon, very, very soon. Does This Offend You will be up today, tomorrow, what time it is. This is it again. And until then, I'll see you on 31 Days of Horror. Okay, bye guys.